ICW, ICW, ICW. ICW fans, I am the administrator of the ICW message board, Robert Lottie, even though nobody gives a darn about message boards these days.
No, nobody.
But, for those wondering, joining me for tonight's recap of the return to the concrete jungle is none other than funny guy himself, Joe Carson.
Known on the indie wrestling circuit to the people out there as Joey Sweet Cheeks. See the funny guy right there, made him laugh already.
Yeah. It beats calling yourself Sweet Chuck like from the Police Academy movies.
Yeah, true, yes.
But
now let's get started on this review, Rob.
ICW finally, after months of not being in Queens, finally returned to Ultimate Fitness Queens with quite a show. And first thing I gotta say, I don't know if not running in Queens shrunk the crowd, or maybe the New York State Athletic Commission, those shitheads.
Or maybe a combination of both.
Might have intervened and said they gotta make room in the building.
I guess because, they don't want fire hazards or anything in case something goes
wrong.
That too,
but... And also, the fact is... All right. So, and maybe the fact is, maybe it was a good thing because, you'll understand why as the show goes on. We kick off the night... What's wrong, Paige?
Don't worry about it. It happens.
It does. We kick off the night with ICW's gatekeeper, the Grim Reaper, went one-on-one with KTB.
That was one heck of a hard-hitting matchup, Rob. They were going back and forth, chopping each other left and right, laying it in there. Yeah. And as the phrase goes, they were beating each other like a red-headed stepchild. Yeah. Or better yet, like the government mule.
Yeah, as Jim Ross would say.
Yes.
Funny thing is that it seems like most shows Grim Reaper opens up ICW events.
Yeah, he's usually one of the first 2 or 3 matches on the card.
Yeah. He's that way. Eventually, a board was brought into play, and KTP got put through by Reefer. He did. I forgot how he put him through it.
I think it was kind of like a kind of like an angle slam almost. Some angle slam Samoan drop combination.
Move, but as a result, Grim Reaper did pick up the win
for that match, and very, like I said, out there,
yes.
Had the fans into it. Half the crowd was for Reefer, half the crowd was for KTB. Everybody was going back and forth, and they had the crowd on their feet.
I was in high school when this song was out. But yeah, it was quite an opening match to really get the crowd jumping and hot and heavy, shall we say. But next up, we had a singles competition with indie wrestling German Ghost Shadow as he defeated second-generation wrestler Brian Pillman Jr.
Wow, that's it. Brian Pillman Jr. Me and you have to say that we're old, but we remember watching
his
Pillman,
dad, yes.
His dad, Brian Sr. wrestled for the NWA, which became WCW.
And then, of course, he evolved into the loose cannon, ticking time bomb. And, of course, for a very short time, he was Brian effing Pillman. It's unfortunate the man's been gone for 22 years now.
Yeah, but, and wrestling style with Pillman Jr., to me, reminds me so much of his father. The way he wrestles and puts all those moves together. And I believe, to me, honestly, as a wrestler, he's kind of like the reincarnation of his dad in the ring.
A little bit. Maybe he just learned how to not go too hard with the high-risk moves. And funny thing is, even though his dad was wearing old Cincinnati Bengal trunks, he was wearing black and white trunks paying homage to Bengali of the Thundercats.
Yes, which you had brought up to me earlier, which I forgot about and had to rethink that Bengali came in during the last, I think, 1 or 2 seasons of Thundercats.
Yeah.
And which is an odd reference because I haven't thought about Thundercats in a while, Rob.
Wow. I guess stuff from childhood sticks with you for the rest of your life, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ghost Shadow actually picked up the win with some kind of submission leg lock.
Because he had worked on Pillman's ankle and knee throughout most of that matchup and eventually caught up with Pillman.
It did. And also, someone got put through a board or a door in that one, too.
Yes, I think Pillman put Ghost Shadow through the board or the door or whatever the heck it was.
Yes. Okay. Next up was a women's matchup. Initially, it was supposed to be Carissa Rivera taking on Tina San Antonio, but unfortunately, the day before the show, it was announced that Carissa would not be able to compete for some reason, and we ended up, her replacement, Vanity, took on Tina San Antonio in a matchup, which was intervened by El Presidente Sanchez and Riley Madison, and Sanchez ended up putting Tina through a board or a door
again, like third different match.
And as a result, Larry Legend announced Tina had won by disqualification due to the
outside interference from El
Sanchez.
Presidente, Pinky Sanchez.
And then Sanchez, I guess, decided he wasn't going to wait and said who was going to answer his open challenge. But all of a sudden, Trey Songz' Bottoms Up starts playing, and Danny DeMarco comes out of retirement again, seemingly.
For about, what, the 800th time? What seems like.
Thankfully, it's not the Terry Funk disease where, or like, you know, like, I'm retired, I'm coming back, I'm retired, I'm coming back. But I don't know if Danny's back full time or it's just, or maybe
one
somebody
of those
else.
Part-time slots where, you know, he's on the card.
Or it's just when someone can't make it or something. Because I don't know if they had somebody else in mind for Sanchez's open challenge.
There's usually, like most guys on shows, if they show up, even if they're working, like, collect tickets or whatever, they always have their gear with them in case somebody
doesn't come,
show up. And
I know
that might have been
heard.
and that's probably could have been the case, like you said, with Danny DeMarco. Somebody didn't show up, they go, Danny, throw on your gear and get in there.
And I don't know if it was me, but it looked like Danny had a new gear on with that ICW shirt.
Yeah, like it's
New York Skyline.
Yeah, and then like of course all his other gear was just like the same as it usually was, but it was
player and stuff.
Yeah, and it was black and red instead of like blue and orange or red and white or whatever other colors you might have worn for
other occasions
in the past.
And by the way, Larry Legend, how many nicknames does Danny have?
Seems like about 800.
Maybe he's a man of a million nicknames.
And then one interesting thing during that match, when Danny DeMarco answered Pinky Sanchez's open challenge, when they were battling outside the ring, I'll bring this up in here to show this. My $1 million replica title. Danny DeMarco grabbed it, goes every $1 million belt, followed up by Larry Legend going, everybody's got a price. And whacked Pinky Sanchez square right between the eyes with it.
Oh, if that wasn't enough, during that matchup, Danny took a hold of our dear friend Mike McNicholas, who was helping out at the show, and threw him into Sanchez. And I noticed Matt Wolf grabbed Mike, and I don't know if Mike hurt his knee or his leg, and he helped him to the back.
And then when I actually spoke to our good friend Mike Mittens there, Mike McNicholas, he said he was actually just a little banged up from the way he landed up against the guardrail, but other than that, he was fine, just a little achy. That's about it.
Yeah. Eventually, wow, so much. I forgot what Danny calls that move of his.
Which one? The
that torture rack, not torture rack, that body vice pile driver he's known for.
It looks like some kind of like.
I know he has a name for it.
I know it looks like some kind of like package pile driver of some sort.
The funny thing was he kept doing that to Sanchez. I think he hit it through the board.
Yeah. And again, another board
came into play. That's what's become the I guess the trendy thing in ICW. And at one point I forgot if that was through the board or not, but Sanchez actually sat up from being pinned.
And then also, I don't know if it was this match or the match after it, where somebody went through a door and they got picked, and his opponent picked him up and threw him through the top part of the door.
That was that matchup. Because Sanchez had I know what he did. He gave, that's how it ended, I believe. Yeah, he gave Danny DeMarco a burning hammer through what was left of that board.
Of the top end of the door.
And he got the pinfall. And after the match, Danny took the microphone and so this was put Sanchez over as his best match in New York. But then Danny says,
There's somebody in the back who's kind of ticked off at you because you put your hands on a woman.
And the funny thing was, Danny says to the crowd, "You all better scream your heads off." And out came the man-eater, Maria Manic. And the odd thing is, as he and Sanchez, or she and Sanchez, pardon me, were going around, the referee never entered the ring. So how could that be an official match? And even the referee declared Maria the winner after Sanchez left the ring, which
I mean, I guess it was
mind.
just a severe butt whooping for our good friend El Presidente Pinky Sanchez.
Oh, another thing to one Jason, I think it is Jason Bob 87, singing the chorus of Hall & Oates' Man Eater. That's not how the song starts, man.
Okay, I mean, at least that's what they always go with
Well,
the
of course,
chorus for that, because she's known as the Man Eater.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I know she once used Nelly Furtado's Man Eater for entrance music. She should use Hall & Oates' theme song for that Man Eater for entrance music. But then it gets got a long intro, which is understandable. But yeah, even though it wasn't really an official match, Manic basically owned Sanchez in that one.
Again, in that match, Pinky Sanchez got beat like a red-headed stepchild with a government mule.
Then they did go to intermission at that point, and the Powers of Pain had come back out for more meet and greet, and I saw they had nice shirts there, but unfortunately they didn't have them in 3X. I think they had 2X.
And before the show started, I actually did the picture with the Warlord and the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Two awesome guys, and I'm a big guy myself, and I felt tiny standing next to them. And I actually, I'm just bringing this point up because I actually had the Warlord laughing, Rob, because I told him, I told him that I amazed one of my friends by telling him that the Warlord holds a Survivor Series distinction. And I go to him, my friend goes, "What is that?" I said, he was one of the members of the first teams to survive completely intact. And he goes, "Wow, not many people actually remember that."
You know, the funny thing is, on that very night, he made history 3 times.
And then, yeah, with the Royal Rumble, but then...
No, not the Royal Rumble.
It was Survivor Series.
That very night, he was one of the 4 visionaries that survived intact. They went on to compete in the first and only grand finale match of Survival. Sadly, this is the 3rd day, Warlord got eliminated first very quickly by Tito Santana.
But we can forgive him for that, considering he's been around in the business for about 25 years or so.
Oh, longer, man. I mean, 30-something years for him. But the thing about it is, sad Vince McMahon didn't use them properly.
No, definitely not.
But we'll get to those guys later on because we'll be back to the action. Oh wait, before that, McNicholas had come out to sweep up the ring. I don't know why they couldn't give him a push broom. They had like one of those small boots. He's using like a push broom to clean the ring.
But you know, got to do what you got to do. I guess pay your dues, work your way up to the push broom.
Well, I don't know about that, but at least he's helping out. And
yeah, and busting his butt for working the shows and everything.
I can get in for free. But back to the action resumed with a great singles match, which saw Jimmy Lloyd defeat the unwanted maniac, Joe Gacy.
And again, this one was like another slugfest, or in the words of good old JR, it was a good old-fashioned slobber knocker.
Or, as I say, stiff fest.
Yeah, so they just wailed on each other for a good 5, 6, 10 minutes.
I forgot how long the match was. But yeah, it was a good matchup,
and originally when it wound up getting to the end, they originally thought that Joe Gacy won the match and Larry Legend was going to announce him as the winner, and the ref called it off, saying that Jimmy Lloyd got his
leg under the rope
and restart the match, don't ring the bell,
and that to the Botchamania files.
Yes, Botchamania.
And Jimmy Lloyd, I forgot how
he wound up beating with the small package, the roll-up, the schoolboy.
That was a small package.
Yeah.
And he got the win. Next up, what was being billed as one last time, the notorious 187 Homicide faced Teddy Hart. And I first saw these guys go at it 15 years ago. Darn, I feel old.
And then, of course, when they both come out, both guys got a huge pop from the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's even Teddy Hart's cat, Mr. Velvet.
I forgot his name. Or was it a lady cat?
I think it's a male cat, Mr. Velvet.
tap, mister. And eventually this spilled into the crowd right behind me, and Homicide suplexed Teddy on the floor. And I think they went up the aisle. Homicide suplexed him in the aisle.
And at that point, that's what I couldn't see because everything that was going on, and they were doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and finally made it back to the ring.
Yes, and eventually they come back to the ring. Teddy hits the power bomb lung blower combination, and it looked like the referee hesitated to count or something, but the bell rang. And then Teddy Hart was looking confused that the referee was like that at 2, 3.
Yeah. And then, of course, they announced Teddy Hart was the winner of the match.
Yeah, so unfortunately, bit of a bad ending there. It seems.
Yes. Because that was the one half of the main event, the first co-half of the main event of the evening.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, I was surprised. I thought they would go on last.
Teddy Hart and Homicide.
I really thought they would have gone on last.
Yeah, but for some reason, when we get to the other half of the main event,
which is the Powers of Pain, Barbarian, and the Warlord, I'm so glad they came out to their WWF theme, because that's like a lost theme that never made it to a CD or cassette of wrestling music.
No, definitely not. And I think that the only other place you can find it is on YouTube.
Yes. Or watch old footage of them wrestling and coming out to it.
Yeah, against
click on the Bulldozer Matt Tremont and Nick MDK, the effing King Gage, collectively known as the New Hate Club.
Which again, that's just a crazy match. They started wailing, going back and forth. Started out as a normal match.
Yeah.
And then they just started wailing on each other, and the referee lost control. And
oh boy, let me tell you.
And everybody was flying all over the place.
I just felt bad for the Warlord because he could barely move around that ring, and I know it's Barbaria to help him climb up to the apron to enter the ring. And eventually, I guess it got to the point Gage grabbed the referee, gave him a choke breaker. Then Barbarian gave the referee a choke slam. Then was it Gage or Tremont who grabbed a hold of Barbarian?
And, it was Matt
shot fest with the fans.
Matt Tremont grabbed the Barbarian and was bringing him around the ring. I was stopping in front of each one of the fans, and as he's holding on the Barbarian, screaming, "Chop me, chop me, chop me!" And Rob got a kick out of this because Matt Tremont stops the Barbarian right in front of me, and the Barbarian goes to me, "Big man, brother, chop me." And I hit him as hard as I could, and it's like an hour later, and my hand still hurts. It stopped vibrating, but it's still a little stiff. And it's
vibrating?
I felt like it was
wrong word to use.
It was shaking, but it's still a little bit stiff an hour later.
Vibrating. What is your hand, a phone?
I don't know, but it felt like it was vibrating and tingling.
Wow. Not like Spider-Man's spider sense, obviously.
No. I didn't have my spider senses tingling.
Yeah. Eventually, the Warlord used a chair on this poor bastard of a referee. Gage tore the guardrail apart. And all of a sudden, the Powers of Pain started leaving the ringside area, and basically the match was a no contest. And Gage took the microphone and he said, "Fuck the State Athletic Commission.
Screw them."
All this other stuff.
Always telling us what we can do, what we can't do. Just let us do what we want.
Yeah, the damn commission's full of shitheads and ball busters to begin with.
True, and then I didn't know. Wanted to know if you wanted to bring this up, or should I bring it up about Larry Legend giving you the shout out at the show?
Larry, man, thank you for that. Even though we saw you before we went out the door, thank you for shouting out the fact that. About my reviews and all that, and I know you'll be watching this one, I'm certain, which I'm waiting. I guess you'll wouldn't be shocked if you pop into one of your Instagram stories in the next few days, knowing you.
Oh, and hi Larry, here's a surprise. Look who's in the video.
Yeah, you almost gave that away, almost like that kind of bad before we went out the door.
I was gonna say, you better be ready for this video. That's what I was gonna tell him. And see, and Rob thought I was gonna give something away.
That you were gonna be in it. That's what I thought you were gonna give away. Okay, well, personal notes time. It was great seeing Jack Sabbath, the founding father of ICW. Kevin, Ryan Peterson, Shane Fair, Elliot, Michelle, Tony Mark, Tiffany, Brad, Brandon, Steven Scogan. At least I noticed Jay Santee sitting across the room from me.
And then when you brought up Brad, him and I go back about
Wow, well, he's
about
actually,
18 years.
funny thing is, he was one of the earliest ICW fans with me back in the early 2000s.
And
I think his wife Margaret was there too.
yes,
at the
I was
time.
going to say the beautiful red-headed young lady with him is his wife Margaret,
Yeah.
who coincidentally is exactly like a month older than I am.
Yeah, interesting. That's cool.
So all three of us go back almost 20 years together, back to 2000. So we go back 19 years.
yeah, nearly 20.
Yeah.
2020 at Rise.
Yes.
Let me see other stuff, other people I saw in the crowd. And there were so many people I saw in the crowd. McNicholas, I gotta forget him. Evan Arnow, photographer.
Yes.
Yeah. Irving Diaz from BCW.
And didn't recognize.
Didn't recognize him. He was handing out the BCW flyers when we were leaving.
Oh,
That
okay.
was Irving.
Yes, and then I mentioned to him I already had my
Ticket for that.
my ticket for that show, which I bought like 2 weeks ago. When I saw the tickets went on sale.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay, actually, well, yeah, we actually have some. We just right by us, folks.
yes.
Actually, we do have some memorable quotes. TSA, fuck the airport. Somebody sitting near me during the women's match, because that's, the initials to get to San Antonio.
Yes.
Pinky Taker. Pinky Taker. The crowd when Sanchez sat up. From being,
That
when
Pinky
DeMarco tried to
Sanchez,
pin him.
he's one crazy dude right there.
There's no rules in ICW, motherfucker. Jimmy Lloyd to the referee during his match with Joe Gacy.
And then I believe Nick Gage said the same thing
Oh boy.
somewhere along the line,
Yeah.
or if it wasn't that, it was screw the rules,
Yeah.
and then he decked the referee upside the head.
Well, since Carissa Rivera was unable to make this show, hopefully ICW can get her in the future.
And let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
And speaking of the future, first I have to say, ICW, congratulations on not canceling a show here in 2019.
Yes.
In case you didn't know, over the years
Like last minute something happened and
well, never really something happened. They've done that over the years. They would cancel shows, shut down, hibernate,